In 2017, when I shut down the truck team we had, BKR, it was a difficult decision, but it was certainly with an eye to the future, to other opportunities and trying to be more well-rounded, not knowing what those opportunities would be. There were a number of reasons why the opportunity to be a team owner at RFK was super interesting for me. I think first and foremost, the ability to drive the car and own it and be a part of the decision making is something that I enjoy. Day one, walking into what's now RFK, I knew it was going to be a lot of challenges. Can't lie, I wouldn't have come in if it wasn't. It was part of the fun, was knowing that you get to, fix it and tune it up. A lot of things to work through, still a lot of things to work through, but we clicked and checked a lot of boxes.
It's definitely changed. I think the bigger things, is the way the team interaction versus production. I want to say in the past it felt like we were much more production driven, like they kind of drove the direction of the cars and the technology, the performance, things like that. And when Brad came in, I think that was one of the things he wanted to make sure that we changed, was that the teams were leading some more of the directions. Whatever we needed, if we said that's what we needed to be faster, then that's what we pursued. And that, I think, has been a big change that I've noticed from where we used to be in the past.
Facility upgrades are probably the most obvious and have kind of been talked about the most. Just kind of updating, upgrading, the facility that everybody has to work in, and that kind of sets the tone for, everything else that we do, raises the standard and the level of everything that we're doing here.
Yeah, I think, knew going into it that Brad had put a lot of emphasis on trying to improve things and trying to improve the processes and the techniques and the technology side of things here, and all the efforts that he's made to try to get RFK into the future, and that's exciting and a great opportunity to come in and try to be part of that.
I think it's a do whatever it takes mentality.
Well, we all got to be pulling the rope the same direction, right? And if you get everybody on board, things begin to click and get easier.
Well, growth and development for us here at RFK is really signaled in 2025 by adding a third charter and all the resources that go behind it, a lot of personnel. That's a big mark for us. Probably the biggest mark is adding Kroger as a sponsor. Blue chip sponsor that brings a lot of strength to our organization. Kind of feels like we got the #1 draft pick. That was really great, and seeing the company grow competitively, seeing it grow on the corporate side is super rewarding.
As a race car driver, what we look for is fast race cars. And looking over the past few years, that's what RFK has. I would say over the course of the next gen era, they've showed a lot of positive moments. Chris winning, Brad winning, consistency. As a race car driver, we want to win, right? So in order to do that, we need fast race cars. I'm somebody that no matter what role it is, I'm going to put 110% into it. So for me, it's direction. You point me in the direction you want me to go, and I'm going to break through walls.
So we look to 2025 and kind of say, what are our hopes and dreams? We want to be contenders. We want to win multiple races. We want to put all of our cars in the playoffs and at least get one of them to make a deep run in the playoffs. I think we'll have a good chance of that. We'll get some really good people and really good resources.
I think, really you want to establish yourself as one of the consistent organizations that's got, 2 to 3 cars in the chase every year, that we need to get to where we're, getting into that round of 8, round of 4, final championship contention. We've been able to get into the chase with some success there, but obviously I don't think any of us have gone as far as we want to. Getting into the chase is good, but like I say, consistently getting there, being one of those organizations that people look at every year that you're going to have cars in there and you're going to make a deep run into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the 6 team has been fast at a lot of speedway races. They've clearly had cars capable of winning. A lot of that race and a lot of the speedway races in general are just being there at the end. So that'll be a focus for us, is just trying to make sure that we're around at the end to go win that Harley J. Earl trophy again. I think so far, when I look around the culture at RFK, the thing that I see is a lot of collaboration. The team's working well together. Everybody's trying to pull the rope the same direction. Everything's kind of out in the open for the teams to work together. Technology, processes, and things that Brad's tried to leverage from his experience on the manufacturing side of things has brought a lot to the table, to where I feel like we have some really good tools to try to make our cars better.
It all starts with the Daytona 500. It's the initial race of the year, first points paying race of the year. It's the only crown jewel I don't have. We've done a lot to prepare for it. We're thrilled to get going, but we know that there's going to be 30-some other drivers that are the same. They worked hard for it and they're ready for it. But there's never been a race that I've prepared more for every year than the Daytona 500. And I feel like we've been so close. Can't wait to see if we can break through in 2025.